Bachelor in Paradise, Jess reveals what tested her and Spencer. August 29, 2025. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bachelor Nation News fans. Jess Edwards and Spencer Conley are one of the strongest couples on the new Bachelor in Paradise season. But the show created relationship challenges to test the longevity of the remaining couples. She opened up about how the challenges affected their relationship after they discovered a huge disagreement about their future together. Bachelor in Paradise puts couples to the test. Spencer Conley and Jess Edwards connected almost immediately after arriving at the resort in Costa Rica for Bachelor in Paradise. She had a brief flirtation with Sam McKenney, but chose not to pursue things with Sam. About halfway through the season, Jesse Palmer revealed that no one new would join the beach, and the couples remaining would compete together for a $500,000 cash prize. They would also be eliminated together. Only 5 couples remain ahead of the season finale: Jeremy Simon and Bailey Brown, Kat Izzo and Dale Moss, Alexi Godden and Andrew Spencer, Spencer Conley and Jess Edwards, and Golden Couple, Keith Gordon and Kathy Swartz. Each week, the couples are put through challenges that test the communication skills and overall relationship. In one recent challenge, one half of the couple was locked in a treasure chest with only a walkie-talkie to give directions to their partner to find them. Jess reveals impact of challenges on relationship with Spencer. To no one's surprise, Jess Edwards and Spencer Conley easily won the challenge and earned immunity from elimination for that week. For another challenge, the contestants had to spend the night camping on the beach amid wild animals, bugs, and other obstacles. A relationship expert secretly watched each couple to see how they handled the stress of the situation. The only advice the relationship expert had for Jess and Spencer was to take their time and not to rush their relationship. The advice came amid the couple disagreeing about a post-show timeline for their relationship. Spencer wanted to move in together after leaving the beach and start a family sooner rather than later. Jess said she wasn't ready for either of those things yet. During an Instagram Q&A with her fans, Jess Edwards addressed a claim from a fan that the challenges and prize money have ruined the show. That's a common complaint from viewers this season. In her response, Jess Edwards admitted the money and challenges were a shock to the contestants. However, she thought the challenges improved her relationship with Spencer. "I feel like it really helped us see how we deal with stress, communicate, and overcome obstacles, as well as really get to know each other faster. So I loved most of them," she said. Season 10 contestant Kat Izzo agreed. She reposted the interaction on her own Instagram with the comment, "Say it louder for the people in the back." Season finale preview teases difficult choice. Season 10 comes to dramatic conclusion on Tuesday, September 2nd. The preview teases a difficult choice for the couples. If they choose love, they won't get the $500,000 prize. Do you think the challenges have strengthened Jess and Spencer's relationship? Walked down those sandy steps in Mexico for another season of Bachelor in Paradise, she wasn't expecting her love story to play out the way it did. Fans remember her as the quiet beauty from Zach Shellcross's season, the one who never seemed to get the attention she deserved. But this time, things were different. This time, the cameras caught her in ways that Bachelor Nation will still be talking about for years, because it wasn't just about roses and romance, it was about tests, about heartbreak, jealousy, whispered rumors on the beach, and the real-life drama that began the moment Jess and Spencer Stockwell found each other. And now, Jess is finally opening up. In an exclusive post-show tell-all, she revealed what really went down, what tested her and Spencer's relationship the most, and why Paradise was both the best and hardest thing she's ever done. A spark on the sand. Jess admitted that she didn't expect to meet Spencer. "I thought I was going to spend most of Paradise figuring myself out," she confessed. "I came in with zero expectations, because honestly, last time around, I felt overlooked. I wanted to do this for me." But then Spencer showed up. The tall, dark, and effortlessly chill arrival came strolling down the beach with that trademark smile. Immediately, everyone knew he was going to be a problem for the men already there and for Jess herself. "He wasn't my type on paper," Jess laughed, looking back now. "But then he sat down, and he actually listened to me, like really listened." Their first conversation by the water felt different than the usual paradise small talk. Jess admitted she was nervous, worried about getting hurt. Spencer, in his low-key way, reassured her. He said, "If you're here for the right reasons, I'll match your energy," and I just melted. By the end of that night, sparks were flying, but paradise doesn't let sparks burn freely for long. The arrival that changed everything. Every Bachelor in Paradise fan knows the formula. Just when a couple starts looking too stable, the producers drop in someone new, someone who stirs the pot. For Jess and Spencer, that someone was Eliza. Eliza had history. She was confident, stunning, and she knew how to make an entrance. And Spencer, well, he noticed. He didn't do anything wrong, Jess insisted, but you know how paradise works. Eliza pulled him, and suddenly my insecurities came flooding back. Jess had struggled with being too quiet during her first season. She admitted that seeing Spencer with Eliza, even briefly, made her feel like history was repeating itself. "That tested me," Jess said, her voice steady. "Not because I didn't trust Spencer, but because I didn't trust myself." The whispers on the beach didn't help. Other women began warning her not to get too comfortable. Some even hinted Spencer was keeping his options open. Jess remembered lying awake in the open-air cabana, wondering if she should just walk away before she got blindsided. The rose that meant more than a rose. The next rose ceremony was a turning point. Jess confessed she fully expected Spencer to give his rose to someone else. She even rehearsed a little goodbye speech in her head. But then he called her name. "He looked right at me," Jess said, "and he didn't just hand me the rose. He held it like it meant something, and I realized I had been doubting myself, not him." That rose changed everything. From then on, Spencer made a conscious effort to prove his commitment. He pulled Jess aside more often, checked in when the cameras weren't rolling, and even turned down a date card from another arrival just to make sure she knew where he stood. For Jess, that's when the real testing began, not from Spencer, but from the environment. Paradise isn't paradise without drama. If there's one thing Bachelor in Paradise is famous for, it's the storm after the calm. And Jess and Spencer weren't immune. The test this time didn't come from another woman. It came from the group. Jess revealed that there were moments when other couples' chaos spilled into their relationship. "When you're around so much drama, it's like secondhand stress," she said. "We weren't fighting with each other, but we were fighting not to let other people's fights drag us down." There was the screaming match at the bar, the tears after someone left unexpectedly, the late-night conversations that made everyone question who was really there for love. Jess and Spencer had to learn to tune it all out, to keep their focus on each other. "That tested us," Jess admitted, "because it would have been easy to get swept into the drama, but we kept choosing each other." The breaking point. But every couple has that one moment. For Jess and Spencer, it came one humid night under the string lights when Jess confronted him about her fears. "I told him I was scared he was going to wake up one morning and realize I wasn't enough, that maybe I wasn't exciting enough, or dramatic enough, or whatever enough for this environment." Spencer didn't love hearing that. He said, "Jess, stop comparing yourself to everyone else. I picked you." But in that moment, it felt like he didn't understand how hard it was for me. They walked away from each other that night, and cameras captured Jess crying in the hammock. Fans online immediately began speculating that it was over. But what viewers didn't see was Spencer coming back 2 hours later, sitting down and apologizing. "He told me he did understand. He just didn't want me to doubt myself." That meant everything. The test that made them stronger. After that night, things shifted. Jess and Spencer began working with the tests instead of against them. Every new arrival, every rumor, every tearful cocktail party, they faced it as a team. By the time Fantasy Suites rolled around, fans were invested. Would Jess finally get her happy ending after all the time she faded into the background? Jess didn't reveal every detail, but she admitted that Fantasy Suite was where their bond became unshakable. "We talked all night," she said. "No cameras, no microphones, just us. And that's when I knew he wasn't just paradise. He was real life." After the beach. Now, months later, Jess is ready to share what tested her and Spencer the most. It wasn't Eliza. It wasn't the rose ceremonies. It wasn't even the producer stirring the pot. The biggest test was me, learning to believe in myself, in my worth, and in the fact that someone like Spencer could love me as I am. Spencer, for his part, has backed her up in interviews, calling Jess the most genuine woman on the beach. Bachelor Nation, of course, remains divided. Some fans swear Jess and Spencer are the next great love story. Others aren't convinced they'll last off camera. But Jess, she's not worried. Paradise tested us, she said, and we passed. The cliffhanger ending. Just when fans thought they had the answers, Jess dropped one final tease. Spencer and I, we're working on something big. It's not what people expect, but trust me, it's worth the wait. Cue the speculation. Are they moving in together, planning a wedding, or is there another twist waiting to unfold? Whatever it is, one thing's for sure. Jess and Spencer's story isn't over. Not by a long shot. Because in the world of Bachelor in Paradise, every ending is
No
just
Bachelor
another
in
beginning.
Paradise love story is complete without the peanut gallery of Bachelor Nation weighing in. The night Jess and Spencer's argument aired, Twitter practically broke. Hashtags like #JusticeForJess and #SpencerPickHer were trending within an hour. Some fans immediately rallied behind Jess. If Spencer doesn't see what he has in Jess, he's blind, period. Rose, #Bachelor in Paradise. Jess deserves the world. She's literally the only one on this beach not causing chaos. Not Jess doubting herself. Girl, you're the prize. Paw. But others weren't so sure. Spencer seems chill, but I don't see the chemistry. Sorry, not sorry. #BIP. Jess is sweet, but maybe she's too passive for Paradise. Spencer might get bored. This is giving me déjà vu from her time with Zach. Reddit threads popped up dissecting their every move. Some pointed to Spencer's body language during rose ceremonies, arguing he looked hesitant. Others analyzed Jess's tears, debating whether her insecurities were relatable or exhausting. Even TikTok creators jumped on the discourse, editing montages of Jess crying in Paradise to Taylor Swift's You're on Your Own Kid, while others made goofy edits of Spencer ignoring drama with captions like, "This man just wants to vibe." The producer games. What Jess revealed later made fans rethink everything they saw. "I didn't realize how much producers love to stir," Jess admitted. "Sometimes they'd pull me aside right before a date or cocktail party and ask leading questions about whether I trusted Spencer. Then I'd go into the night with my mind spinning." Bachelor Nation knows Paradise thrives on producer manipulation, but hearing Jess spell it out hit differently. "They told me Eliza specifically wanted to talk to Spencer," Jess continued, "but later I found out it wasn't even her idea. Producers set it up." That revelation set Bachelor Twitter ablaze. "Producers are the real villains," one fan wrote. Others pointed out that almost every couple that made it in the real world had to survive manipulation in Mexico first. Maybe Jess and Spencer had simply proven their strength. Life after Paradise. The season may have wrapped, but Jess and Spencer's story didn't stop rolling. According to Jess, the real test came once the camera stopped. "In Paradise, you're in a bubble," she explained. "You're on the beach, no phones, no distractions. It's just you and this person. Once you leave, it's like, welcome back to reality. Bills, jobs, distance, everything." Jess went back to Nashville. Spencer returned to San Diego. Suddenly, the late-night beach talks turned into FaceTime calls squeezed between work schedules. "That tested us more than anything," Jess admitted. "We had to decide, was this just Paradise or was it real?" Fans theorize the future. With Jess teasing something big, fans are convinced they know what's next. Some theories dominating Bachelor Nation right now. Engagement 2.0. Many believe Spencer already proposed post-filming, and ABC is holding the footage for a Bachelor Happy Hour exclusive. Moving in together. Others are convinced Jess is relocating to California, pointing to her cryptic Instagram stories featuring palm trees. Paradise spinoff. A wilder theory that Jess and Spencer are secretly filming a couple's retreat-style spinoff with other Bachelor alms. The juiciest rumor, however, came from a blind item on a gossip account. It hinted that a Paradise couple had already split but were keeping up appearances until after the reunion. Fans immediately panicked, speculating it was Jess and Spencer. Jess shut it down in an interview. "We're still figuring things out, but we're not faking anything." The reunion bombshell. At the Bachelor in Paradise reunion taping, insiders say Jess and Spencer stole the show. When they walked out holding hands, the audience lost it, one source claimed. People weren't expecting them to look so strong. Jess reportedly got emotional while explaining to the cast what tested her most. "I had to stop listening to everyone else and just focus on Spencer," she told them. "The more I did that, the happier we were." And Spencer? He apparently leaned into the microphone and said, "I love this girl. I don't care what anyone thinks." Fans will have to wait until the reunion airs to see how it plays out, but according to the leaks, Jess and Spencer leave the stage smiling and more solid than ever. Why their story matters. In a franchise known for messy love triangles, screaming matches, and couples crumbling within weeks, Jess and Spencer's story feels different. It wasn't about fireworks. It wasn't about stealing the spotlight. It was about facing the quiet tests, the doubts, the whispers, the what-ifs, and coming out stronger. Jess summed it up best in her final interview. "Paradise didn't just test us, it tested me, and for the first time, I passed my own test." The cliffhanger deepens. Before leaving her interview, Jess smirked and dropped one last hint. "All I'll say is, the next chapter isn't happening in Paradise. It's happening in real life. And yes, Spencer's part of it." Cue the fan frenzy all over again. Is it a move-in, an engagement, a joint podcast? Or could Jess, quiet, underestimated Jess, be stepping into a spotlight role none of us saw coming? Only time, and maybe Reality Steve, will tell. But one thing is certain, in a sea of Paradise love stories that fade like footprints in the sand, Jess and Spencer just might be the couple who lasts.